Chris Parker with Century 21 Bradley. We're with Margaret back at Cafe of Hope. Margaret, it seems like with aging parents and getting wills and everything set up, the powers of attorney, that all of these legal issues can create some real world problems for us because the way things play out aren't always as we intended. Things can get messy, greed becomes a part of it, extended health care and needs all complicate things, and this can create real problems for the real estate transaction.
Well, and a lot of these problems actually start before the death. You know, we find all kinds of scenarios. In fact, we had one not too long ago in which mom needed some extended care, and mom had 3 children. She had 2 daughters and a son.
Okay.
Well, mom was living with one of the daughters, and it's easy for one of the kids to have a power of attorney.
Sure.
For mom's needs,
Sure.
medication, doctor's appointments, things like that. And that's what happened in this case, is mom granted a power of attorney to the daughter who was her caregiver. Well, unbeknownst to anyone, the daughter, after a certain amount of time, probably felt that she was due a little bit of more of the inheritance because of the time that she spent taking care of mom. But she actually used her power of attorney to benefit herself, and she deeded the property to herself, mom's residence to herself.
I see where the problem's starting.
You're right. So mom finally passes, and when mom passes, the other 2 children are talking, we need to list the property, we need to get the assets sold, we need to distribute the proceeds. Well, that's when they finally determined that that property was now owned by the one daughter. She actually used that power of attorney for her own benefit, which does not stand well in the eyes of Indiana law.
I was just wondering if it was legal for her to do that, and the answer is no.
Absolutely not. So what happened, in order to restore the ownership to the rightful people, because in mom's will, she said share and share alike with her children, and the one daughter obviously took care of her interest, and so that property, the deed got overturned by the courts, and that property was then restored to the 3 rightful owners. But in doing so, that created a lot of family problems, and the only one that was really able to navigate through that was a professional title company and a professional realtor.
Sure. And so if that property were transferred with that mess in place, that could create some liability and definitely some complications for a new buyer. Even though everything was able to get straightened out, there'd still be some drama that would come as that unfolds with the transferring of the property.
Well, not only drama, but it would cost the buyer a lot of money to defend their ownership in the property.
Sure. So really involving a quality realtor and a quality title company through that whole process is important, especially when we see an estate, because there's so many different layers to the paperwork.
Absolutely.
Move right into this incredible 2-story home in Indian Ridge. You'll enjoy the open spaces throughout the home, starting with the entry leading into the 23 by 15 living room with fireplace and vaulted ceiling. The family room opens to the 16 by 12 dining area with a few extra feet on each side, making it easy to move around with families or while hosting. The kitchen features a corner pantry and coffee bar leading to the laundry room and 3-car garage. At the top of the stairs, the loft functions as an upstairs retreat, adding a second living space. The master suite features 2 walk-in closets and a spacious ensuite. The additional bedrooms feature generous closet spaces and wonderful built-in character. In the summer of 2018, the elementary school will change to Horace Mann. If you have questions on this or any other property in the marketplace, call me on my cell phone at 260-760-4589. I'm at Juergens Hardware with Brandon Juergens, and today we're talking about clogged sinks, and you said that there's a number of alternatives to chemicals that people don't always consider.
Yeah,
Tell us what some of the options are that you have here in the store.
Before you dump a chemical down your sink, I try to remove the clog physically. And one thing people don't think about is using a simple toilet plunger. It's not just for toilets, you can use this for your sink. Simply fill some water up into the already clogged area and then get some good suction, and it should be able to push the clog through.
And you're taking that air pocket that's inside the plunger and using that to push that obstruction right on through the pipe.
Absolutely. And if you need more pressure, you can clog the overfill drain with a rag, and that'll just get more air pressure to the clog itself.
Because you have one drain coming out of the sink, but people don't always know that this overfill is connected to the drain, so when you're pushing that air, it comes out here unless you're doing exactly what you're doing, plugging the hole.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Now,
what are some other options?
If that doesn't work, I would try to push the clog through or maybe pull it out. You can use something as simple as a coat hanger. Or they make this plastic device that slides down, goes around the bends easily.
Okay.
If you got a hair clog, this can grab the hair and pull it out.
Sure.
Really.
And to do either of those, you're probably going to need to remove that drain cap, the stopper.
Yep.
Okay. And I know that whenever I've done that to try to get to my clog to be able to use one of these devices, I have hair hanging off of that thing and toothpaste, and it's just a big nasty mess. And my clog was up high, not down low
absolutely.
necessarily.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to build up.
Sure.
over time.
Now you were saying that sometimes the clog is down lower, not right up there in the top, and there's
Right.
another way that we can address that.
Yeah, so if you look down below your sink, what you have is called a trap.
Okay.
This is where water's sitting all the time.
This guy here is attached to the sink.
Yep.
Yep.
This either goes into the wall or down to the floor.
Okay.
But water's here all the time. About 90% of the time, this is where your clog's going to be at.
Sure. And you said that's pretty easy to access.
Yes, don't be afraid to open that up. These are made to come apart. They unscrew. You can slide that out of the way.
You do the same thing on the other side. This whole thing comes out, rinse it out.
Yeah, take that outside, run a garden hose through it, and you'll be amazed at what comes out of
You
it.
were saying this is the same plastic they make toys with. Don't be intimidated by it. Get in, get your hands a little dirty, and
Absolutely.
and get it fixed, because
Yep.
it's just not that hard.
If you're afraid of how to put it back together, you can take a picture beforehand.
Good
You'll
thinking.
be good to go.
All right. Well, if you have questions on getting your drain unplugged, stop on down to Juergens. Brandon, the team, is happy to help you out. They have a number of options that are great alternatives to chemicals. But if you do need a chemical, they can get you pointed in the right direction, something that's safe for the drains, safe for your septic. Stop on down.
Today, I'm at 80 Home Street, the Dyer Health and Wellness Center, right around the corner from McDonald's. Most people who visited Derek have no idea that there's 4,000 square feet of office space in the back half of the building, and they're looking for a renter. So today, I want to show you around. The total office space measures 70 feet by 57 feet, but the owner may be willing to subdivide. The private side entrance contains the lobby and reception office. There's 12 office spaces inside the building, plus a large room for meetings, cubicle, or storage space. We do have separate men's and women's restrooms, and there's 15 parking spaces outside. Rent is from $1 a square foot per month, or $12 a year, but the final lease rate would be negotiated based on the amount of space rented in the lease term. We have 4,000 square feet of office space total, so your options are nearly unlimited. Again, this is 80 Home Street. If you think that this might be the right space for you, call me on my cell phone at 260-760-4589.